Hi everyone, today I want to talk to you on topic of self-esteem and how we can raise our self-esteem. And I think a lot of us really suffer from low opinion of ourselves, or as you call it, low self-esteem, right? But how can we raise it up? Because if you feel like you are not enough, if you feel like you are not deserving of things, it does hold you back in terms of development, in terms of self-evolvement, right? So how do you change that? And I think that the way to change it is to not take, not accept things that are unacceptable to you, and first of all, figuring out what those things are from, from other people, from your personal life, right? Within you, how do you live, um, how others are treating you, and is it the way that you want to be treated? And if it's not the way you want to be treated, or it's not the way you want to live your life, it's not the job that you want, or that the job that you're, jobs are one of those things where it's, almost never, nobody's ever happy in their job, right? But it's still to the point where it's unacceptable, not allowing it to go on, but rather changing it to something that you do want. And of course these things take time, it's not going to be right away, but as soon as you start to take steps to say, I'm not okay with this, I don't want this in my life, I want to be this way, or I want things to happen this way. Even listening to me talk like this, you can see that you gain power from, because you're putting yourself from a position of a victim, being faced with a certain way people treat you, certain circumstances, certain situations, to being empowered and saying, well, no, I can change this. It might be hard, or some things might be pretty easy, but I'm not okay with it. And as long as they continue to say and do nothing, I'm going to be continuing to let it go on and continuing to be okay with it. And I don't want that in my life anymore, you know? So it becomes a much more empowered thing. And from being in that higher stance, and uplifting yourself, really, your self-esteem naturally grows rather than being a victim of the circumstances, you know? And this is not something that happens overnight. I mean, the decision takes instance to make, right? But to actually change things does take a longer time. But the point is that you're starting to make those changes. The second you start is the second you start to feel empowered. But to see the end result might take a little bit of time. But you will see short-term results happening, so you will see progress. It might not be the full end goal, but it will be progress because you're putting effort into it. And the more you focus on that road of development in whatever area you want, and saying to yourself that I'm not okay, say for example, if somebody's treating you badly, or just maybe not badly, but just not how you want, instead of accepting it, saying, you know, in a nice way, right? You don't want to hurt people's feelings and things like that, because most of the time when people do things or say things, they're not trying to be mean to you. They're just not realizing that it affects you. So not being mean about it, but at the same time letting them know that this is acceptable and then this is not acceptable. And you have to think about it, because sometimes we have unrealistic expectations of ourselves or of others, or of how we live our lives. So there's that too. And you do want to be reasonable, but at the same time, if you feel like your low self-esteem comes from, say, your job, or from your friends or your family, or just say, for example, you like to watch a lot of, like, this is a real issue too, like people watch a lot of news, like news shows, and all they see on the news is negativity, negativity, over and over again. And they start to fall into that, falling into the trap. So, and it becomes a self-esteem issue, because people start to think that, everything is getting really bad, nothing good is happening in the world, everything is bad, I don't feel good about myself anymore, we're all gonna die, like that kind of a thing, right? So seeing where that negativity is coming from in your life, and then working on changing that. And that puts you in a position of being empowered, being in control, and like I said, it might take some time to actually change things, because some things are, you can turn off the news and, never turn it on again. I mean, if something really, severe happens, you'll know you won't need the news at that point, right? But not allowing that negativity, and that might be something quick, changing a job or changing career, might be something that will take a lot longer, right? But working on that and progressing yourself, so you are not a victim of your circumstance, because as soon as you make that choice of not being a victim anymore, of being empowered, your self-esteem will start to grow. And if you every day you work on taking small steps on being more and more in control, every day your self-esteem will grow further. So these are just some thoughts I had on the subject. I would love to know what you think. Please leave me a comment down below. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.